Hey y'all, and welcome back to my little corner of the internet. My name is Lilith, and for today's video, I'm in the kitchen meal prepping this week. Got my boyfriend T on, and I'm meal prepping my partner's lunch. Now I say I'm meal prepping my partner's lunch because I don't have to meal prep mine because I work in a kitchen, so I just whip myself something up. But he works in an office, so to make sure that he is eating healthy, I get in the kitchen every Monday and whip him something up. So I'm actually making 2 meals today. I've got the ingredients separated out on each side of the table for each one, and of course the onions and garlic in the middle because they're always for both. I'm kind of making this up as I go along because I want y'all to know it's okay to try things, try new things, and try to use the ingredients that you have already in your home. So the 2 meals that we're making today is a curry pasta and a Buddha bowl, basically. How I start planning meal preps is generally I will pick a whole grain or starch, a legume, a green, and veggies. And that's what I have on this side of the table, my normal meal prep lunch. And then the more dinnery thing, granted they can be flip-flopped if you want one for lunch, one for dinner on any given day. The more dinnery thing I'm making is the curry pasta. As you can see, we have lots of veggies on the table because we want to get all of those veggies, all of those nutrients into our diet. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to actually meal prep so that when you get home and you're hungry and you just go looking in your pantry for something, you don't grab the chips, you grab the healthy meal. And that's what we're trying to get my partner more on board with so that he can be the healthiest he can be. So I will tell my partner, okay, we have this grain and or starch, and we have these legumes at home. Choose one of each, and then we go to the farmer's market, and I tell him to choose 3 to 4 vegetables for that lunch and a green. This week he's chosen char for his green. Bell peppers, of course. He loves mushrooms, so we got some mushrooms, some yellow squash, some red radish for a cute little garnish. And the starch we're using this week is potatoes, and the legume we're using is lentils. So potatoes and lentils, greens and veggies. And over here for our curry pasta, we're gonna go with these spicy red curry coconut linguine that I got at the farmer's market. We have a wonderful lady that makes amazingly flavored pasta. Usually I wouldn't go for something as processed, but this is locally made, and with all the flavors she puts in here, it ups the nutrient value and the flavor, and they're just wonderful. And we've got some spinach and cilantro and lemongrass and a little green curry paste and coconut milk to make the sauce. And then we're gonna throw some tomatoes and mushrooms, zucchini, and carrots in there. We're gonna make this delicious pasta. Hope you're excited to see how this all turns out, because I sure am. I don't know what's gonna happen. Just have fun with it. That's all. First things first, I gotta chop up all these veggies. So I'm gonna throw something on the TV and time-lapse you through that. We'll come back here when I'm throwing stuff in the oven and cooking and all the things. But first, a clean yerba with my bamboo straw because I have a lipstick on and I don't wanna fuck it up. Knife. I need a knife. Chop up all the veggies. Me trying to make weird, impressive thumbnails. Oh god, I'm so fucking weird. Now it's done all the way. Come back, zucchini. I'm also gonna go ahead and turn on my oven so it's hot when I'm ready to use it. I'm just gonna throw it on 350 because that's a good even cooking temperature for pretty much anything. With baked goods, obviously you have to be a little bit more particular, but with roasting vegetables, you can be a little lenient, you know? Let's get started. god, that onion and garlic is so strong. I had to move the cut onion and garlic to the other side of the room because my eyes are just like, ah! I feel your pain if you don't like cutting onions. Even though I'm a chef, I still deal with the burning eye sensation. Okay, I've got everything chopped and we're gonna get to actually making food now. I know it can seem overwhelming to try and chop that many vegetables at once, but doing it now while watching TV is gonna be better than trying to do it every night when you get home from work. So there's that. But also, don't worry about how perfect your cuts are or getting them to be the perfect small little squares. I've cut some of these nice and big chunks, peppers, and just big rounds. With vegetables, it doesn't really matter how big or small or perfect you cut them. It's just about getting more vegetables into our life, right? So, I'm gonna get this cutting board and knife out of the way, and we're gonna get to the cooking. So to start out, I'm gonna get the potatoes roasting, and I'm gonna get the lentils cooking, because those are gonna take a little while. I just chopped up my potatoes into some chunks and left them in water so that they didn't brown. I'm gonna drain the water and go ahead and toss them in some seasoning. You can use foil or parchment paper to line your pan. I'm using a silicone mat because it's reusable, and we like that on this channel. Trying to be low waste. I don't tend to use oil when I'm cooking for myself, but because I'm cooking for my partner and to try and keep him fuller longer, I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil to the potatoes. Just a little drizzle. Sprinkle of pink salt, cracked pepper, and some garlic powder. Get in there and toss that all around. And then evenly spread it. All right, pop these in the oven. I'm just gonna cook them until they're soft on the inside and a little bit crispy on the outside. For my lentils, I'm gonna fill this pot up with a bit of water. And about a teaspoon of this Better Than bouillon. This is the vegetable one. But you can use any kind of veggie stock. I like to just give the lentils a little bit of flavor. And all of this I'm keeping really simple. We want to highlight and bring out the flavors of the vegetables that we're using. And I'm gonna do, so I did about a quart of water and 2 cups of lentils. I'm gonna pop this on the stove at a medium-low heat until the lentils are fully cooked, with the lid on it. For the red radishes, I just cut them into thin little rounds and place them in some water. Storing them in water is going to keep them nice and firm and good longer. And these are just going to go on top of the dish. Now for the veggies. Again, I'm just lining a tray with a silk pat. You can make this a little fancier by using different types of oil or using different types of vinegars. For the onions and garlic, right now I'm going to toss them in a little bit of pecan oil that we get from the pecan farmer at the market. A little salt, a little pepper. So squash, I think I'm going to do regular olive oil. And for all of these, I'm just doing a tiny drizzle. And remember that this is making a lot of meals, so overall the amount of oil in each meal is going to be really minuscule. But you can also definitely do all of this without any oil. I just know my partner much prefers it. And you know, we're still making him healthier little bits at a time. First, let's make sure he's getting enough vegetables in his life. For our bell peppers, I think I'm actually going to toss them in a little bit of white wine vinegar. As you can see, I have a bunch of random vinegars and oils that I'm trying to use up. So use meal prepping as an opportunity to use up some of those random ingredients that you might have lying around. The white wine vinegar with the pepper smells really good. And my oyster mushrooms. Oyster mushrooms have a very fishy flavor, which I'm not the biggest fan of. But you can add some flavors that really bring out the tastiness. To work with that fishy flavor, I think I'm going to toss this in a lemongrass mint balsamic. If I can get the lid off. By keeping the onions and the squash at more neutral flavors, I'm able to play a little bit more with the rest of the flavors. Smells mintier than I expected. Well, I hope it turns out good. Cooking is just an experiment anyways. So now I have this beautiful tray of veggies that I'm going to throw in the oven until they're a little roasted. And I'll show you what that looks like when they come out. As for the greens, I'm just going to put a pot of water with a little bit of tamari in it on the stove and blanch these so that they're a little bit easier to chew, a little bit easier to digest and absorb all of the nutrients. And that is all of our components for our Buddha bowl. I know it seems like a lot, it seems overwhelming, but you can boil it down to a simple formula. A whole grain or starch, a legume, a leafy green, and whatever veggies your heart desires. Okay, on to the curry. Now, I'm really excited for this curry. So the first thing I'm going to do is get a pot of water on the stove so we can cook the noodles, and then I'm going to start blending up the sauce. This curry is going to be quick and easy, which is great after doing all of that. So let's get into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is blend up the sauce. I just have a can of coconut milk. Plus refill the can of water. I'm going to throw my lemongrass, spinach, most of my cilantro. I'm going to hold a little bit back for a garnish. 1 bunch of cilantro and some green curry paste. I'm going to start out with just a teaspoon and add more if I need to. Blend her out. Don't forget to add the salt, like I just did. Just a little pinch. It's got good flavor, but I would like to add a half a teaspoon more. I love coconut and cilantro together. For some reason, the flavor combination of that is just wonderful. And since my tamari water came to a boil, I've got my chard sitting in the water just for a minute or so. Soften it up a little bit. You can see that it brought out the color and it shrank a lot. Okie dokie, back to our curry sauce. Let's give it another little blend and see where we're at. Almost there. Almost there. Needs another little pinch of salt. And a tiny bit more paste. It says on the side of this that it's very hot. I'm hoping that once I actually heat it up, the spice will come out because it's not spicy at all right now. Yes, that is very good. So I'm going to set this aside until I'm ready to use it. Okay, so for my curry, I'm going to start out by giving the onions and garlic a little water saute, and then I'm going to throw in all the rest of the veggies. Water saute it for another minute or two, and then throw my curry sauce in there, cook it all together, marinate all the flavors for about 10 minutes. I'm going to let it simmer, and we should be good to go. All right, so we're over at the stove. That's the lentils back there cooking away. And up here, I've just taken the same pot that I cooked the noodles in, because why create more dishes? Added a little bit of water, and I'm going to water saute my veggies. Got this on at a medium-high heat. I'm going to cook down the onions until they just start to get a little translucent. Our potatoes and lentils are still cooking away, but our veggies are nice and roasted and gorgeous looking. So colorful. And they smell so wonderful. So, I'm going to let this sit until it cools, and then I'm going to put each of them away. Now, if you have enough containers to pre-portion all of your meals for the week, that's wonderful. We do not, and we also do not have enough room in our fridge for that. So I put them away individually, and then in the morning, I'll scoop them out of the container into the one lunch container that we have for him. So here's where our onions are. I've been adding small amounts of water as needed. And I'm going to throw in the rest of the veggies now. I'm going to let this cook down with the lid on it for a few minutes. And let's check on our lentils back here. Looks like they're almost done. See how our veggies are doing. So now that our veggies have started to release their water, I'm going to take the lid off because I don't want the curry to be watery. So I'm going to let a lot of the water simmer out. Here's what the veggies look like now. You can see that they have cooked down quite a lot. They pretty much filled this pot when I put them in here, and now they are about less than half. So it's time to throw the sauce in there. Ooh, yes, I'm so excited. Now I'm going to bring this back to a boil and then turn it down to simmer. Beautiful green curry got going on here. Starting to thicken up a bit. I'm going to let it reduce down a bit more. Alright, I'm ready to toss in the noodles. I'm actually just going to turn this off, toss the noodles, and we're done. And just like that, we have green curry pasta. Oh man, it smells so good. And back here, our lentils are done. That's what they look like. Our potatoes are just about done in the oven. So this is everything I made for meal prep this week. Lunches and dinners. I've got a beautiful green curry pasta over here. All these lovely roasted veggies. Almost forgot about the greens I had cooling in the fridge. Roasted potatoes, some cooked lentils, and some blanched greens. Once all of this is cool, I will put it all away. And now my house smells wonderful. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I now have to go do a lot of dishes, but hey, I do them all today, and I don't have to worry about it the rest of the week. I just have the couple little dishes here and there that we use to serve the food on. Saves me a lot of time during the week. I hope you enjoyed this double whammy recipe video this week. This 2-for-1 recipes, 2 recipes, 1 video. Some super deliciousness that's super easy. And please leave me a comment down below what your favorite veggies to put in a Buddha bowl are. I might just film a recipe video with the veggies, with your favorite veggies. And let me know if you try any of this at home. I'd love to hear how it goes. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I really want to hear from you guys. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and hit the like button if you liked this video. Don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to grow this community to 50 subscribers before the end of the year. Help me do that by hitting that subscribe button, and hit the bell if you don't want to ever miss any of my videos. Now, go get experimenting in your own kitchen. Thank y'all so much for watching. I am the Vegan Rainbow. Bye y'all!